Well, thank you for being here at this extraordinary event with all you young change makers and the leaders of tomorrow. We're going to talk about reinventing health. Who of you knows someone who's suffering from a severe disease? Show me your hands. And who of you does know the journey they need to take to find their cure? Well, today, you can all be life changers by being part of reinventing the way humanity connects with life-saving information. And today I will tell you why and how. We'll start with the story of Anna and Sophie. Two 7-year-old girls, both been diagnosed with a rare brain cancer. There's Anna from Amsterdam and Sophie from rural Spain. The doctor told the parents, "Take your girl home. There's nothing that we can do." 6 months later, Sophie died, but Anna went back to school. The difference? By chance, the parents of Anna were able to connect with a US doctor who was trialing a new drug that saved her life. Parents of Sophie did not. Every year, millions of patients around the world are dying because of a lack of access to available life-saving information. And the problem? With our isolated healthcare systems, it's impossible to connect. Just think about the people around you. It depends on where we live, which doctor is treating us, how our survival chances will be. That's touching, right? It's touching me. Because we believe in 2018 that we're living in a global connected world where we all can access knowledge. But this shows in healthcare, this is not so. In fact, 2 hospitals in the same country cannot even communicate with each other. Can you imagine 2 hospitals on which one at the other side of the world? I've heard these kind of stories since I can remember. I'm born and raised in a medical family specialized in genomics, and every day my father came home and he told me stories, usually about parents with a sick child, typically people in their 30s to 40s, with diseases no one seemed to know anything about. And then there was always that sentence. If only we'd have known, we could have prevented this. If only we could known. That sentence touched me because as a child, I started wondering, why, if there's more knowledge, why can people not access it? And why does the system nothing to change? Can you imagine if it would be your father? Would you accept this? It needs to stop. So it became my life mission. At the age of 23, I became a genetic scientist with a 2nd degree in ethics and business, working at Harvard, WHO, Peking. But wherever I were in the world, I saw the inefficiency we were using, knowledge, resources, and because of that, people die. I told you the story about Anna and Sophie from Europe, but actually the problem is even more fundamental because we have the lower 5 billion who can barely access healthcare. People living in isolated places, they cannot access a hospital, or they can, but then there's a doctor without the knowledge to specifically treat them. But what I did see was that they all had a smartphone to connect. And living in the 4th industrial revolution is like Klaus Schwab said, it already changed us. The rise of exponential technologies changed the way we communicate. It changed the way we connect. It changed us and the future. And because of this, like you also hear at this event, we're already building smart cities, smart governments. So why not build smart health? And the way to do this, to reinvent a future where you and I have access to life-saving information if needed, is by using our imagination. Like Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. It encircles the world. Logic will bring us from A to B, but imagination will bring us everywhere. I will tell you another story. 7 years ago, my friend Christian's daughter, Lieke, has been diagnosed with a rare genetic disease. The doctors in the local hospital, they only knew 3 other cases, of which they all died. So they gave up all hope. But the difference is that my friend Christian is a tech innovator, and he did not accept this. So he started searching on the internet, and they start asking all his network to search with him. So and eventually, after a long search in the dark, they connected with parents in other countries, with children with the same disease and the same mutations causing the disease. And on those other places in the world, there was a cure that saved her life. And that inspired me, because if he can do that for his daughter, imagine what we can do for millions of others. So that's what we do. We digitized the process, what he did to save the life of his daughter. And for that, we need a smart system that connects you to the life-saving information that you need with a breakthrough solution, and that's our DNA. Our DNA is the data that determines who we are and how we respond to treatment. It's the key to connect with life-saving information. So what we're building is a smart system with a revolutionary network that matches people based on their own profile to the information they need, using artificial intelligence. What you do is, after you've been diagnosed, you register, you go to a secure environment, you share your disease name, the mutation, and you be directly matched to other patients like you and to global treatment options and clinical trials. So if we go back to the example of Sophie and Anna, if this system would have been available, the 2 girls could have been connected based on their profile, independent where they live. The parents of Sophie could have been connected with the parents of Anna. They could have exchanged the information about the cure, about the doctor, the hospital, but also with other patients like them, with the UK doctor, clinical trials. She would have had a better chance to survive. So if we build this future with this system, the beauty is that everyone can contribute. Everyone can share knowledge, they can share their story, and we can all contribute, connecting knowledge and increasing the collective knowledge of the world. So that if we go back in a few years to the other side of the world, those children and people, they can also connect. There might not be a doctor that knows what to do exactly, but they can now connect with a network where millions of other patients, people, supporters, professionals, scientists can help them. And this applies for patients searching for a cure, but also for scientists. Because as a scientist, you're also searching for the right data for your research. So if this network is there, they can improve recruitment for clinical trials. They can use the network to use artificial intelligence for inductive learning by identifying disease patterns and target genes to speed up drug discovery. So what it brings is that this is not just a network. It's not just data in a network. What we do with this, and with everyone who contributes, is creating global access to real-world patient data statistics to answer the questions that we would all have if we're confronted with disease. That's what the current system is not able to do, and will probably never be able to do. We're talking about money, time, but also about political interest. Can you imagine that the entire world, all hospitals, will work together? So we need to empower people, and that's why we have new technology. So the secret, and that's also why we are here, and what we hear in every story about the future, is we go from the old world and the new world, where it's about the power of social. We're using the ability to help each other to go to a next level. The ability to help the people we care about, but also people we don't know at the other side of the world. And my question by now, but how are we going to realize this new future? How are we going to build this? Well, for this, we have 3 phases. First, it's all about exceptional growth. We need people from around the world to join the network, to join, and to be part of the movement, and to share. In the second phase, we use artificial intelligence to identify life-saving patterns to overcome diseases, running to a global database that will enable patients searching now to find answers, but also all patients that will come in the future. And for all diseases we don't have medicines for. Currently, the DNA for more than 2 billion people has been sequenced. And there are more than 400 million patients, like Sophie, suffering from a rare genetic disease, rare cancers, who need our help. These are patients searching for a cure. And at the one hand, we have the scientists and the drug discovery companies who need access to find this cure. So that's the basics for a sustainable business model. And that's proves that with doing good, we can also have a profitable business so that we can even impact more in the future. So at Social Genomics, what we're doing is targeting 40 to 80 million profiles by empowering patients to freely connect life-saving knowledge. And that's at our core, our philosophy, that everyone is able to access this information, this knowledge. From those 40 to 80 million, people can take a premium to use additional services. And we can sell access to life-saving data statistics to speed up drug discovery, which will provide us an annual revenue of 200 to 400 million a year by 2023. It was supposed to be right. So, and this is only the start. I founded this because it really touches me. I discovered that by using exponential technologies, we can conquer the impossible. To provide millions of people hope by transforming the way humanity connects to life-saving information. What I did is I spent all my savings to start building this future. Previous years, I gathered more than 15 committed experts from companies like Google, Siemens, Philips, Pink Ribbon, who represent the knowledge in genomics, technology, drug regulation, drug discovery. But with them, we're not alone. Because all of you, right here, like I said in the beginning, are part of this solution. Just imagine this would be you or your family. Because one day, if we like it or not, we or our loved ones will be confronted with diseases. We would need a cure. So let's build a future where we can have life-saving information right at our fingertips. A future where Sophie survived through access. A future where we can discover new medicines in 10 days rather than 10 years. A future where you are empowered to find your cure. What we will do is we're preparing to launch a global campaign at the start of 2019. Our goal is to connect those 400 million patients who need our help right now to connect. And by supporting this right now, you can help to be a dot to connect. So let's bridge this gap together. Thank you.